What's good? This is Dynamite, Kane Dynamite. Yo ho chose me. Now we can talk like gentlemen or we can get off into some gangster shit. Can you dig it? It's the Fuck the Government podcast. What's good? We back again. Who is it? Kane Dynamite. You know, we in the house again. About to pack these motherfucking governments in. Ladies and gentlemen, front, left, right. We back again. Blah, blah. It's good. Hashtag fuck the government. Much love to the lovely Crystal. Much love, much love. Be back at it, fuck the government. I got 3 videos. I know I always say I can't stay here too long, but I got these 3 videos. They're a little lengthy because the after party is gonna be over there on the JBJ network. He starts at 10. I got a weird feeling I'm gonna be a little longer over here. Pause. God damn it. I mean, I'm gonna be over here for a minute. I might be over there like a little after 10, be casual, be late to the JBJ network. Make sure you guys got the JBJ network and let's talk about JBJ. But he tried to build the JBJ channel. So just go to there. I might pop up if I have some motherfucking energy left and my phone don't die on me while I'm doing this live. But my shit is at 99%. So we Gucci. Shouts out to Crystal. Shouts out to Crystal. Much love. Thank you again for the cash apps. You are a goddess of the new world when I'm done destroying the old one. You already know. You already know. I'll be there. I like his channel. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And right after I did that Detroit After Dark, I hopped over there on Truth Zone's channel. And we was over there for about like 2 or 3 hours. And they got rid of his channel. So like he got a second channel. And I put it on my community post. It just say subscribe to Truth Zone. Just like click on the link and subscribe to him. You know what I'm saying? Because like we was going in over there. We was going in like a motherfucker. They was hating on us. They was hating on us. Help to me by our ancestors' reputation by imitating the commitment to truth. Teach your children to do the same. Speak truth always. Hell yeah. I agree. Opened up the third eye chakra also. But the truth is the throat chakra. Yeah. They should get throat chakra. It's on point speaking the truth. Truth breeds trust. Trust breeds unity. Without truth, there can be no trust. Without trust, there can be no unity. No one unifies with those that do not trust. No one trusts those that do not speak truth. Woo! Bars. I wish I had an explosion effect. Bars, man. Bars. Dom DeMarco, Marco. Shit like that. But real shit. Shouts out to Wale for coming through. Shouts out to Wraith. Truth is that dude, wish I caught that session. Been busy with work and the family like, yo, I feel you. I feel you. Work is a motherfucker. Yep. The family life is a motherfucker too. I understand it. You know, I can't wait till I get there to that point in the family life, but I highly doubt it because not too many people want to fuck with a revolutionary. I need a chick that's ready to blast with me. But shouts out to the ladies that want to blast with me. Shouts out to all y'all. Y'all cool. And we gonna get off into a track first, and then we gonna get this motherfucking party started. We gonna get this bitch started. What we gonna start off with? So we about to say fuck the government. Fuck it.
Kill them quick, dumb bitches be talking shit. All fucking hoes, put the laws in place. They be fucking up all your states. Smash your girl, beating on her case. She's so freaky, put it all on tape. Ass I hit her, but don't draw no cake. But the government still on they face. Large round taking off your face. Doing cops like JFK, not Jigsaw. I ain't playing no games with my chainsaw. I take your brains. I be changed, we changing those lanes. RPG blow up every damn thing. Everything gonna turn into flame. Revolutionary, I don't play no games. I'm the god of the storm and flame. Y'all better ask about hurricane. Ancient times, ancient rhymes. It is talk shit, but ain't shit flying. Y'all just down when I come to the door. Hit it to the fed with the chrome 4-4. Let's like a blunt, y'all about to get smoked. The motherfucker know. Pull the trigger. Fuck that, fuck around and get murdered. What's that blood all over my shirt? There's a damn thing I put in that dirt. Going around, putting in work. It's gonna be where the revolution gon' work. When the gun blast dead in front of your church. When I go back home smoking that perk. Time to ride. Got another new mission on the side. 1979 will blow your mind. Buddy Park says when it gonna be all defined. I am divine when I spit the rhyme. I am divine when I use the nine. I am divine when I pop the spine. The least is gonna die tonight. Trigger. We gon' burst in, pull the trigger.
Got my live already. Shit, I just motherfucking started. They do not want a motherfucker to shine on this bitch. Shouts out to Bronze. Shouts out to Wraith for coming through. Shouts out to Crystal. Shouts out to everybody. Shouts out to Wale. Knows everybody go off into another track. Then we're gonna go off into the video. Yeah, man, they kicked me out my live. Those bastards kicked me out my live.
Domain expansion.
Now Rogue One Production.
Welcome to the abyss. The unstoppable one. I am the illest, no doubt. Sporadic, eternal fire. There is no putting me
Government Podcast. This first video, Trump gives the doctors the green light to treat patients based on what?
Veteran Affairs, spurred on by one of Trump's many executive orders, has removed a lot of protections that were in place, policy protections for different groups of people. Let's talk about that. Yeah, the VA for many, many years now has had all of these groups of people saying basically you cannot discriminate against anyone. If somebody comes in that's a different religion, a different sexuality, different gender, you have to treat them, you have to treat everybody equally. And then Trump came in with his executive orders because you got to get rid of DEI and we got to, attack the transgender community. So they removed all of these protections. And in doing so, they didn't just target one or two that Trump wanted to specifically, really stick it to. They removed all of the protections. And by doing this, it means that any VA doctor, any VA clinic, VA hospital, VA nurse practitioner can say, you know what? I don't want to treat Democrats. So if you come in here, I'm going to ask you who you voted for. And if you say Kamala Harris, you're out of here. I'm not treating you.
Now that is fucking grimy. You got to get that out the way. That's grimy as shit. Nah, I don't fuck with either president, man. But like going on that shit, come on, man. You already said all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. They on some motherfucker. They never cared about the veterans since I'm doing research. Like they never cared about motherfuckers since Vietnam. There's motherfucking vets out here on the street, no help. The VA hospitals trying to hold niggas and shit. We got a VA hospital in Detroit and shit. That's a big motherfucker too. Pause. But it's still a whole bunch of homeless vets on the street. Like no one getting help. So what the fuck going on? Like this is why I'm saying like when the revolution started, there's gonna be more ex-military motherfuckers fighting with me too. Not all of them, because like some of them, like got some screws missing in a motherfucking noodle. So I'm going to get the like-minded ones, that still got that killer instinct and they fighting spirit and skills and abilities and most importantly, all their fucking marbles.
If I ask you your sexual orientation and I don't like it, you're out. They are now allowed to do that since they removed these protections.
Salute.
Secretary of Veterans Affairs Doug Collins sent out a nasty email saying that the reporting is fake news.
I'll open the lineup on the next one. I kind of got to be quick with this, and then I'm going over there to the JBJ network. But for sure, like if I still got energy, like if I still got some energy after the night shit, like I might do another Detroit After Dark and open up the line for sure. Shouts out to Jordan. What's good? What's good?
That they're not going to do that. But famously and noticeably, he did not explain why they removed these protections. And I would like to point out for the viewers, this is the same secretary who created an anti-Christian bias task force and encouraged veterans to report anything that they perceived as an anti-Christian bias within the VA system.
I hate that shit. Because like Christianity is bullshit anyway. They're just creating more policies just to fuck with people's emotions and fucking religion and shit. But like even though, oh my God, religion is bullshit. But like for them to even push this type of shit, be like give basically tell a nigga to snitch. So like if I was a nigga in a motherfucking VA hospital bed talking about fuck God and fuck Jesus, a nigga will snitch on me and I won't get no help. Shit crazy.
These folks are so unserious that it's almost difficult to really talk about any of the things that they do with a straight face.
It's not difficult to talk about it with a straight face. Motherfuckers actually say we're not going to help you because you voted for another party. During the scamdemic, there was like, we're not going to treat you if you are the person that didn't take the lethal injection. We lost family and fucking friends because motherfuckers didn't want to vote for Trump or Kamala. It was fucking crazy. I'm talking about the greatest division tactic known to man next to Jesus and 9/11.
Because this is comical. This is cartoon villainy.
Yeah, cartoon villainy. The world is a stage.
Watching take place in real time. And that denial from Collins, like
salute, water style.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty of doctors that do not do this. That does not change.
You're supposed to have one. I don't know what's going on. Like YouTube is adding features, taking away shit, but you did have a ranch. I went to go fucking check, and you did. But if I gotta fucking double check again, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. They adding new shit now, and they taking away shit. Make sure y'all subscribe to True Zone, dog. And we went over there live and went in, dog. They got rid of my man's channel, dog. That's some bullshit. So go to my community post and subscribe to True Zone. I'm heated about that, dog. I remember losing my channel. I was mad for 2 days, and once I started my second channel to start building, they bought my shit back in a couple of weeks. I was like, okay.
It's the fact that they are now allowed to do this, and there is a big difference between doing something and being allowed to do something. And that's where the administration tries to blur those lines and convince you that no, it's not going to happen. Maybe it doesn't, but you're giving them the green light to do it, and that's the problem.
Okay, today I'm going to show you how
YouTube fucking with me too. They fucking with my goddamn channel. They kicked me out 10 minutes ago. All right. That was about the veterans. About to go to another video about the military again. But this is about ain't nobody trying to join that bullshit. Let's just say that. Soldiers are resigning, and some motherfuckers are not even trying to join. Wait a minute, what the fuck just happened? Here we go. I hate this. And plus, every time I click on a video, they be like, viewer discretion is advised. Y'all let me know when y'all click on my video, do it say viewer discretion is advised. The following content may contain self-deletion or self-harm topics. I doubt it though.
Hello, I'm CJ Werleman, and in this episode, we reveal how Israel's criminality has weakened and ruptured the US military and State Department to the point of threatening Israel's existence. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. The United States carried out one of the greatest strategic blunders in modern history when it invaded and occupied Afghanistan and Iraq for 2 long decades.
Yeah. And shouts out to the JVJ network. He was over there fighting. Ex-military. Shouts out to JVJ. Make sure I subscribe to the JVJ network. I'll be over there after this. But yeah.
Because it not only drained America of its treasure and blood, but also ripped apart the fabric of American society. The architects of these wars believed that technological superiority made the US invincible, a self-belief that was shattered by the will and determination of Arab and Afghan locals who took up arms to resist their American occupiers. Today, Israel is reliving this American experience. Its blowback has only just begun, for it too believed it could bomb its way to victory in dropping 100,000 tons of munitions on Gaza for the past 16 months. But only to watch Hamas emerge from the wreckage stronger than ever, with a new generation of Palestinians eager to replenish its future ranks. Israel not only failed to achieve its military objectives, but now finds itself viewed as a terrorist state and international pariah by its closest allies, leading former Israeli generals to predict total collapse.
כשאת בוחרת הצלחה של מלחמה, את צריכה לבדוק אם השגת את המטרות שלה. עד רגע זה לא השגנו אפילו מטרה אחת. את החטופים לא שחררנו, זו הייתה מטרת מלחמה. את העקורים לא החזרנו לבתיהם, זו הייתה מטרת מלחמה. אבל נוספו כמה בעיות מאוד מרכזיות, שגם אותם אנחנו הולכים להפסיד כתוצאה מהדרך שניהלנו את המלחמה. הכלכלה של מדינת ישראל מתמוטטת לאורך השנה הזאת, ואם נמשיך אז זה תהיה קריסה מוחלטת. אנחנו מאבדים את החברה, יש תופעה מאוד קשה של מלחמת אחים כמעט, ימין, שמאל, דתיים וחור, בתוך הבית אנחנו מתפוצצים, איבדנו את העולם.
What he's saying in so many motherfucking words is Israel fucked up, we losing our economy, and it's about to be a civil war. Motherfuckers don't like this government. It's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. Everything that Israel do is all bad. They killing kids on the side, taking money in your ride. They been telling you so many lies. Ain't no good, it's all bad. I just want to confess it's been going oh so long, and I've been shooting you so long, and I want you to know that.
Political isolation is exacerbated by the growing popularity of the Palestinian resistance in the United States, a popularity that's not only enjoyed by a majority of the general public, but also a majority within the US Armed Forces and diplomatic corps. This is an existential threat to Israel because the State Department drives US foreign policy, while the Department of Defense enforces these foreign policy objectives. Therefore, growing favoritism for Palestine among the ranks of both institutions is a doomsday scenario for the Zionist state, a scenario perfectly narrated by a 16-year veteran of the US Air Force.
And they keep on talking about this Zionist shit. Like I said, if you want to understand what's going on in Israel, you gotta look up the origin of Israel, read about that Balfour Declaration, all the key figures involved. Look up the Smith-Month Act. Watch the movie Wag the Dog, and most importantly, read Albert Pike's World War III. And y'all will put everything into a wonderful perspective. All right, sir. Launch torpedoes.
Designed to protest his government support for Israel.
It's gonna be really bad. The thing that just stuck with me is like October 6th was really bad in Gaza. It's been an open air prison for a long time, but I knew it was bad to begin with, right? And they were kind of at the total mercy of Israel. I think it's just the arrogance of the IDF. The people, they're posting this stuff, right? They're flaunting it, honestly. They don't care. It's just so evil. Like Henry Job is like a really
eating too much salt causes hypertension.
Oh my fucking God.
What about too much bacon and red meat? Nope, it's active.
like Henry Job is like my daughter's 5, so it's like it's my daughter, you know. My son he's nonverbal, has some other disabilities. The Muhammad, the boy who was killed death by a dog, like that's my son.
Damn.
I don't know if there's a way for America to come back from this in the sense of our reputation on the international stage. We've completely
Just like that meme when that nigga Leonardo DiCaprio was like, whoop. That nigga say international stage. The world is a stage. You know, like, man, these motherfuckers give it away every time. Now, his story was very sentimental. He's an ex-soldier and shit. You know, like I understand what happened over there. You know, I understand. You know, like the casualties of war are the civilians and the fucking people. But this is a psyop war. You know what I'm saying? This is still, but like motherfuckers are still dying. But like at the same time, they're still trying to fuck with the hearts and minds of the people, and at the same time, kill them. Like this is motherfucking a diabolical world. I only got one question: where the fuck is God at in all this shit? That nigga up there chilling. I think in y'all Bible it said Earth is his footstool. No wonder he not here because he got his feet on our ass. I got to give you that Tommy laugh from Harlem Nights.
institutions, justice, right? The UN, for the benefit of what, right? To protect someone like Netanyahu and what Israel's doing.
Today, these headlines are commonplace as one US Army and intelligence officer after another resigns over US support for Israel, with one former major saying, at some point, you're either advancing a policy that enables the mass starvation of children or you're not.
Right. It's like you either killing people or you're not, man. You either motherfucking causing famine and starvation for men, women, and children or you're not. Like a motherfucker morality kicked in, like his soul kicked in, like, man, I cannot do this shit no more. I can't take this shit no more. I'm trying to be peaceful. Now it's time for Reggie to karate your ass. Oh, yeah. And then join the revolution and start blasting back at the government. Real shit, whether anybody know it or not, Metal Gear Solid is the blueprint. Play the game Metal Gear Solid. It's the fucking blueprint of what the fuck, what PMCs really are. Private military corps. You know, and it gets real in-depth on this type of shit. But at the same time, we live in real time. And in real time, man, it's about to be real fucking unadulterated chaos in this bitch. I can feel it in the air. Lots of music everywhere. We killing the night. It's gonna be crazy.
This Olympic in honor of Aaron Bushnell, the 25-year-old US airman who died after setting himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., shouting, "Free Palestine."
Oh yeah, y'all remember that? When the soldier set himself on fire, talk about some free Palestine and shit. Yeah, that shit was crazy, son. Nigga set himself on motherfucking fire.
Bushnell's martyrdom has inspired thousands of US soldiers, airmen, and sailors.
Salute to armchair revolutionary.
Status is illustrated by Warren Betancourt, an active duty US airman who cited Bushnell in his reasons for seeking leave from the US Air Force.
Juan Betancourt could not wait to serve his country. So you were anxious to be an airman?
I was.
Yep, Aaron Bushnell, yep.
Joining the Air Force 2 years ago.
To serve fellow Americans, and I also wanted to further my professional career.
But he now says he wants out of the military that he was so eager to be a part of. Saying his attitude changed when fellow airman Aaron Bushnell set himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy to protest Palestinian civilian deaths in Gaza.
Moment in which I began to question.
He set himself on fire. If motherfuckers don't know their history, they do to repeat it. I remember Richard Pryor telling the story. And he said the only reason why he motherfucking did that fire shit was because he saw a motherfucker set himself on motherfucking fire. You know, over some crazy ass protest and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like some motherfuckers get fed up. And whether this shit real or not, I understand. I understand. I overstand. This world is full of pain and fucking suffering. I want to get out this bitch too. That's the overstanding that people need to understand on the truth. And the truth is this world is full of pain and suffering. Then you can read Buddha, and Buddha will tell you this shit. Like, yo, man, this world full of pain and suffering, nigga. You control your reality. Rise above the bullshit and the mundane, and you will reach nirvana.
And it also emboldened me to speak out against the atrocities that were taking place in Palestine.
US military and intelligence officials are not only resigning in large numbers.
This motherfucker, 1,000 years too late. Motherfucker should have been protesting against that bullshit when it was first created in 1948. You should have said, what? Man, y'all niggas just took a nigga motherfucking country. Hell no, we protested this shit. But no, what was going on in America in the 40s? I don't remember. I know there's a lot of propaganda fucking with people.
Also using their resignation as an opportunity to attack their former leaders, like Josephine Gilbert did when she disrupted the Congressional House Committee on Veterans Affairs to condemn Congress for funding Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza while neglecting the welfare of American soldiers.
In a controversial new bill that just passed,
God fucking damn it.
All 50 states.
American soldiers.
I have fought Israel under the line. Don't care about veterans. You don't care about American values. You are destroying this company, this country. Shame on all of you. May God give you the moral courage. May God give you the moral courage to do the right thing. May God give you your heart. Please. Shame on you.
We need veterans from California all the way to New York to stand against what we are witnessing right now.
These resignations come at the same time the US military is experiencing its worst recruitment crisis in 50 years. A crisis.
First recruitment crisis in 50 years. You want to know why? Because America ain't shit. And plus the ones that did fight over there, they realized what the fuck was we fighting for? Where's the weapons of mass destruction? Where is the goddamn weapons of mass destruction? George Bush talking about, we got to tell, George Bush like, we got to say it over and over and over again for the truth to sink in. We got to catapult the propaganda. We got to catapult the propaganda.
Some analysts warn that it may need to bring back the draft to replenish the rank and file. Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza has...
We need to bring back the draft to motherfucking bring back rank and file. Nope. I'm sorry. You think niggas gonna go to war? Hell no. Niggas gonna be on the run, avoiding jail. Draft dodger. Draft dodger. And niggas gonna be trying to snitch. Friends and family gonna be snitching on you. Yeah, get him. He's over there doing the podcast, kicking this door. Go ahead and try. I'm going out in a blaze of glory. On top of the world. For real. You motherfucker got a blaze if you got to. Otherwise, you ain't shit. You trying to say I ain't shit? I ain't trying to tell you shit. I tell your mama you ain't shit.
To the Army's recruitment crisis because young Americans not only overwhelmingly support Palestine, but also oppose the US war machine.
It's been one of the worst years for U.S. military recruiting since Vietnam.
The U.S. Army faces a recruiting shortfall.
So every service really struggled this year, in this fiscal year, to meet their recruiting goals.
The US State Department is suffering a similar crisis, as senior liberal diplomats take aim at the institution for aiding and abetting genocide. With Josh Paul, the first diplomat to quit over Biden's refusal to halt arms transfers to Israel.
You mentioned sexual violence. I was part of the human rights vetting process for arms going to Israel, and a charity called Defense of Children International Palestine drew our attention at the State Department to the sexual assault, actually the rape of a 13-year-old boy that occurred in an Israeli prison in Moscovia in Jerusalem.
Damn.
We examined these allegations. We believed they were credible. We put them to the government of Israel. And you know what happened the next day? The IDF went into the DCIP offices and removed all their computers and declared them a terrorist entity. I think it is fine.
I got an opportunity to meet and speak with Josh Paul during the Doha Forum in Qatar last month, where he explained to me how his attitude towards Israel is now widely shared by his former colleagues at the State Department. He told me that irrefutable evidence of genocide in Gaza has left no space for American or European diplomats to defend Israel's indefensible violations of international law, which is why we are seeing a massive crisis of conscience within the top diplomatic agency. His sentiment was shared by Hala Rarid, who ended her 18-year career at the State Department by citing her government's total disregard for Israel's criminality.
This has been different. It has been silenced, and let me tell you, it has sent a chilling effect across the entire, I can speak about the Foreign Service. People have become to self-censor themselves, they're worried, and that hurts us as Americans, because when you have your US government experts silencing themselves because they're worried about retribution or they're worried about what it will do to their career, we all lose. We lose.
No, nigga, they worried about getting shot in the head with a nigga with a suppressor. Ugh.
Keep us secure. It doesn't keep us safe.
The Palestinian resistance has not only succeeded in helping Americans understand how their tax dollars are siphoned to Israel to fund endless violence and bloodshed in the Middle East, but also how this money is diverted away from the needs of the American people at home, which has left the country's infrastructure, education, and healthcare in a state of catastrophic decline. The American story today does not invoke a shining city on a hill, but rather a dystopian nightmare in which cities are hollowed out to ruins as a record share of the population succumbs to addiction, depression, suicide, and gun violence. But the money to fix these problems is funneled to Israel, and Americans are finally waking up to this unwanted cost. This changing American political environment promises to put a stop to Israel receiving blank check support from US taxpayers. The grey train has run dry. So much so that Kamala Harris' refusal to break with the Biden administration on Israel's relentless assault on Gaza cost her the election, as revealed in this newly released survey, which found 30%.
No, that did not cost her the election. What cost her the election is the bitch had no fucking policies. And the bitch wanted fruitcakes in the bathroom next to your goddamn kids.
19 million people.
Fuck that. Have y'all noticed that all the drag queen story time stopped? Ain't nobody really talking about Pride Month no more. Like everything was on a strict hush hush. They completely shut all that shit down like it was a goddamn operation. It's like, fuck it, let's brainwash as many people as we can for 4 years. When Trump get in office, we're gonna stop all this drag queen shit. Have y'all noticed that? Or is it just me? Shouts out to Jared Jaguar in the building. What's good?
Who voted for Biden in 2020 but sat out 2024, named US support for Israel as the top reason for not voting. 30% of 19 million is nearly 6 million voters. Well, Trump won by a margin of only 2.5 million votes. These changing American attitudes towards Israel is why Trump has suddenly adopted a more friendly tone towards Palestine and a harsher tone towards Netanyahu, even sharing a video in which the Israeli leader is called a deep, dark son of a bitch. Now watch Netanyahu's face when Trump says Palestinians deserve a better life.
I was saddened by the fate of the Palestinian people. They deserve a far better life. They deserve the chance to achieve their extraordinary.
Salute to Bearded Conversations. Make sure y'all subscribe to Bearded Conversations. Also, great channel, great music, great topics to talk about. Show some love. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Great channel. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the Tigo Show. For real talk, man. It's one of the top 5 realest channels on YouTube because it's real. You feel me? This is a real channel. Shouts out to Tigo Billy, man. One of the realest channels ever. You know, when I first came to YouTube. Yep. For sure.
Potential. Palestinians have been trapped in a cycle of terrorism, poverty, and violence, exploited by those seeking to use them as pawns to advance terrorism and extremism.
We must continue to fight for Palestine, and we must recognise that the battle has only just begun. A temporary ceasefire is exactly that, a temporary cessation in violence. A permanent end to war and bloodshed can only be achieved when the Zionist occupation is permanently ended. This is the goal. The total liberation of Palestine is what we must strive for. But that's my time for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we kindly ask you please support our effort to expose and confront injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of the show at patreon.com/CJ Williman.
All right, that's the end of that. Now it's time to get on to the meat and potatoes of this whole motherfucking podcast. We about to go to Shaheed Bosan. Now, I was supposed to just did this video just a single video by itself, but this part of the Fuck the Government podcast also. Oh yeah, Bearded Conversation got some tickets to give away. If y'all in the Illinois area, check out Drizzy, you know what I'm saying? You can be able to do or die in Crucial Conflict. I'm talking about, man, I ain't heard them cats in a minute, bro. Do or die. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chop it up with do or die. What y'all know about that? Picture this. That album was the shit. That album was the shit. That was the shit. For real. And it might be broken shit. It can make a no dope tips. But I'm spending more game than the mouth for the poker tits to get them hoes with the open list of the provoking hips. I never gotta tell them any lies. Have a looking in the city skies. Get up in the kitty style because I'm blessed with a little bit of sex, good sex, peanut butter complex. It's a pretty guy. Then the crowds with the strategy side. They want that to be gotta be right. That'll be the flat to be right. But if the head the bone, come on, like a nigga day. Members of my clique want to see what that'll be like. I know you want to try that. To the rhythm of a hi-hat. The people can deny that. I ain't gotta hold them. The fellas want to drink, but you buy that. Motherfucker, can you buy that? Where you buy that? On the path to the side of your hoe, trying to come up on another G. Brought all up on the beach. I just want to be looking never leave. All up on another beat suddenly. Man, oh, what y'all motherfucking no. Oh, D want to ride in the backseat of a motherfucking caddy. Chop it up. Chop it up. You already know what it is. Now everybody get off into this video. Let's get it.
Here is how I would invest $1,000.
He going to add.
Number one, I would take $600 and buy VO. That's what they've always done. And you won't find a single area in life, in the West, you won't find a single area in life in which they don't do this. They pillage, they ransack, they steal, and they ruin. They ruin who they steal from, and they even ruin what they steal. Wallahi, they're bad intentions. Like a long snake that slithers across their whole history. Like, have you heard of that whole movement? This is an example. Have you heard of that whole movement? There was back around the
She learned to don't deal with emotions, but in the room, she rub me with lotion to come like the ocean coach, haven't seen anything to do with that, they give a love potion. The word that was never said. So we give a women nigga in the bed until they sick in the head. Never let me rubber dead. I ain't chicken the bed, the game with this chicken in the bed. They kick the ass in the air like a player do. If they give one a day or two, other words I'm gonna say a group. That's the pimp type shit. Nigga know what AK do. Red, gray, and blue. And oh god damn it, that was my shit, bro.
of the last century. It's kind of a weird chapter in the West, frankly. No one really talks about it that much. But it is significant, I think. A quasi-spiritual movement, you know, the sort of elite-led bourgeoisie, mysticism and occultism that went hand in hand with colonization.
Hell yeah. Adrenaline Rush is my favorite album. Adrenaline Rush, Kamikaze, Adrenaline Rush 2007. You know what? I got to give the day after its props. I'm going to give the day after its prop. Adrenaline Rush, Kamikaze, Day After, Adrenaline Rush 2007, Dark Horse, Shooter Ready, and that's it. I like, like 6 good albums. They killed that shit. What can I say to make you see how the fuck I feel to make me want to jump over the edge? I'm trying to get something to get each other for the ledge, man. Take a gain and take a bluff to the head. That's it, go. Trying to hit them with the repercussion. I feel the repercussion of going some things. I get the bigger dick with the bigger jig. How about the still niggas to kick shit for niggas and bitches that I kick it with? That shit was cold. I was born to get you pumped up. It's like some head buzz because to get motherfuckers a head rush.
You had Blavatsky, Bazant, those lunatics, you know? It was the basis of what's now the new age spiritualism of today. The westernization of Eastern ideas and concepts and the perversion of those ideas and concepts for distinctly Western purposes. They did this for distinctly Western purposes. Well, yes, the West did not just colonize land and bodies and resources. They colonized what cultures considered sacred.
They colonized what cultures considered sacred. Woo! It's deep.
They reached into the metaphysical heart of civilizations and extracted whatever they found useful, and they co-opted it. This was a calculated project of epistemic domination and pillage. They took the beliefs of the people that they colonized, they appropriated those beliefs, and they used those beliefs to not only manufacture their own westernized versions, which they would then use for their own purposes. They also did it to negate and to invalidate the cultural ownership of those beliefs, ownership by the colonized people. Now, of course, for us, we're just talking about all different types of kufr from all around the world. That's irrelevant to the point that I'm making here. The point here is that this was just another form of extractive ransacking by the West. It's important to recognize that. It's important to recognize how they did and what they did and why. From the 18th century onwards, as the Western empires spread across the globe, they encountered civilizations, old civilizations whose spiritual traditions were older and were deeper and were far more integrated into the fabric of daily life than the hollowed out remnants of post-Reformation Christianity. Certainly more than the secularism of the so-called Enlightenment. We're not just talking about, museum relics or something to be cataloged. They were living, breathing systems of meaning. Systems that had sustained those people, that had shaped their laws, their customs, and governed them, governed their ethics for centuries. Again, it doesn't matter that we're talking about kufr here. The point here is that these were deeply rooted systems of interpreting life that had formed across centuries of experience. There's intricacy there, there's scholarship there, there's exegesis there, and so on, developed over vast amounts of time. But the West did not approach these things with any sort of respect, not even with any honest curiosity. That's their superiority complex. It makes them incurably cynical. They don't think anything matters. Instead, they engaged in a systematic project of what you can call spiritual extraction, mining, repackaging, and ultimately distorting those civilizations' knowledge to serve their own ideological and materialistic ends. And it continues until today. Maybe not with the same brute force of colonial armies, but through the subtler and more insidious mechanisms of cultural hegemony, appropriation and corruption, perversion. The Enlightenment didn't just challenge the authority of the church. That's not the only thing it did. It gutted any semblance of spiritual life in the West. That left them with an existential void that rationality and reason and nationalism couldn't fill. The European elite had long since discarded their own scripture, but they still craved for some sort of metaphysical transcendence, They weren't high enough. They weren't powerful enough. So just like Pharaoh, just like Pharaoh, they wanted their supremacy to be on an even greater level. And as a result of colonization, they turned outward towards the so-called mystic Orient, towards the timeless wisdom of the East, towards the ruins of civilizations that they themselves had ruined and destroyed. Colonial expansion provided them the sort of the perfect pipeline for their spiritual looting. The same British officers plundered Indian palaces, also seized texts in Sanskrit, Hinduism, Buddhism, and so on. The ancient traditions of Egypt, of Persia, India, China, Mesoamerica. They were all treated not as living faiths, but as anthropological artifacts, ready to be reverse engineered, ready to be stripped of their original context, ready to be repurposed for Western consumption.
And that's what Assassin's Creed video games are about. The battle between the assassins and the Templars. The Templars out here looking for artifacts from all across the world that has these special powers to control and destroy, and it's a motherfucker. It's a motherfucker. Just like, like play the game and get in depth with the storylines. Like the newer Assassin's Creeds, I can't say like too much about it because I haven't played them. But I know 1, 2, 3, 4, Brotherhood, Revelations, definitely it captures the essence of what these evil motherfuckers are doing when it comes to just going to people's lands and fucking up shit. Part 3 is my favorite because you are playing as a native. You're playing as a person from the Iroquois. And he becomes an assassin, but your father is a Templar. You know what I'm saying? So like the white guy came in, fucked his mom, and had him. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? It's great shit. But my second favorite is Black Flag. It's about pirate shit. It's motherfucking awesome, nigga. Blackbeard in that bitch is fucking awesome. And no, Blackbeard is not a bad guy as much as everybody portray him to be. Blackbeard is a motherfucking revolutionary fucking warrior. He put the fear of God and the devil in you. That motherfucker do not fucking play. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's Assassin's Creed.
It's really quite grotesque if you think about it. That's where you really start to see the emergence of Western occultism, like some souvenir that a tourist brings back home to show their friends how well traveled they are. You know, like these celebrities.
Yeah, it's like, yo, nigga, look who I killed to get this fucking crown. Look who I killed to get this dog ass breastplate. Hey, yo, look who I killed to get this dog ass sword. Look at this motherfucker. Oh shit, you are well traveled, sir. Yes, I am well traveled.
Getting tattoos in Japanese or in Sanskrit or in Arabic without even knowing what they say. So you had what was called at that time, turn of the century, this Theosophical Society in Europe. I think it was based in the UK. It was founded by someone called Helena Blavatsky, 1835, and it was one of the first.
Helena Blavatsky. Hitler used to read her books, and a lot of motherfuckers read her books.
Organized efforts to really codify this spiritual plunder. And then Blavatsky was followed by Annie Besant and Charles Leadbeater, who was a pedophile. And they claimed to reveal, to know some secret doctrine, some universal wisdom hidden beneath all religions, all global religions, all world religions. But in practice, theosophy, which is like a combination of the word theology and philosophy, in practice, it did two things. One, it reduced living doctrinal traditions to just metaphors. Hinduism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, and so on were all stripped of their theological substance and repackaged as allegories for some deeper esoteric truth that the actual, believers in and practitioners of those faiths couldn't actually understand themselves. So the second thing they did was to elevate themselves to become some new spiritual aristocracy. The real wisdom, they claimed, was not accessible to the ordinary believer, but only to the Western initiate, the enlightened elite who alone could decipher the hidden codes and the hidden meaning in these ancient texts and these ancient faiths. You see, that's the whole history of the West. That's their whole history. That's their whole modus operandi. Like I said,
yep, modus operandi. Who is that speaking? His name is Shahid Bolson. Shahid, SHAHIDBOLSIN or SEN, but Shahid Bolson. All science religion is a cult. Right.
Steal, they claim that what is yours is actually theirs. Then they even claim that their stealing of your stuff made it better. The arrogance. I mean, these people, Besant, Blavatsky, even Leadbeater, they're still talked about until today as if they were master teachers of some great spiritual truth. No, they were
some motherfucking evil sons of bitches.
Imperialist frauds. They were narcissistic cult figures who diluted and polluted centuries-old belief systems of colonized people in order to exalt themselves over those same colonized people. I don't even know what kind of a category of crime that is. But you'll notice, when you look into these people's writings, when you look into their books and their works and their speeches and what have you, there's one religion that they never messed with. You can guess which one that is. Yes, Islam was conspicuously absent from their grand synthesis of all the Eastern religions. Why? Because Islam was and remains a faith that refuses to be co-opted, to be pillaged, or to be domesticated. Islam wasn't built like that. Like Hinduism or like Buddhism and so forth.
Yep, that is fucking true. They even motherfucking go as far as, you better not talk about this motherfucker Muhammad on South Park. South Park didn't give a fuck. They was like, man, nigga, we gonna do this shit anyway. They was all right, fuck, we'll just put up a black screen. We put up a black box over the nigga. But when it first came out and they showed Muhammad the first time, there wasn't no black box on it. But like later on, after niggas got all bitchy and sensitive and shit, put a black box on Muhammad. So everybody lined up and everybody looked like motherfucking themselves. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna and Muhammad got a black bar. He's just a black fucking bar. Like they just bleeped him out. South Park don't give a fuck. They roast every fucking body.
Sort of fragmented and demilitarized under colonial rules.
Salute. Black Money Corp. What's good? What's good, my brother? What's good? What's good? Seth Rogen put black box over Muhammad. Hell yeah, they do a black box over that nigga.
Islam retained not only its theological coherence, its legal.
The French cartoon artist got killed over drawing the prophet. God damn. You see that shit? That's fucked up. They'll put a bomb on their chest for some Muhammad.
Its political force, but its teeth. It could not be appropriated.
The South Park do Jews? Hell yeah. They do it every day. Because Cartman and Kyle be going at it. Kyle is a Jew. His family are Jews. Oh, god damn it. Can we say... I usually say baby hats, but fuck it. Fuck the... Fuck... Fuck it, it's the fucking government podcast, right? This shit might get a strike. I might get motherfucking nuked, dog. They got rid of my nigga True Zone. They might get rid of me again. This will be my second time I got shut down. Who gives a fuck, right? Who gives a shit? They talk about the Jews all day on South Park. Yeah, the fucking baby hats. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it. Reconsider. Resubmit. Sure. On the subject. Cool. Fuck it. You know I got your back like chiropractic. That bitch do you dirty. Hurry. And go to the altar. Keep your heart 3 stacks. Keep your heart.
Provoking resistance. You can't get away with that. Theosophy's structure was inherently elitist. It spoke of hidden great masters, secret hierarchies, cosmic initiations, and deeper truths and whatnot. All of these ideas basically mirrored imperial thinking, but in a sort of metaphysical framing. You know, the spiritual order replicated the colonial order. The white European would now not only rule the land, but the very cosmos itself. But La ilaha illallah does not tolerate that nonsense. No. Like I said, you can't underestimate this sort of weird moment in the West, this weird phenomenon that happened in the West, because it oozed from there into all sorts of other areas, not the least of which is psychoanalysis, especially Carl Jung. But you'll find...
Shouts out to Carl Jung. You know what I'm saying? Carl Jung, Alan Watts, and Earl Nightingale. I listened to those 3. Those, you want to get through your life. I guarantee you listen to Carl Jung, Alan Watts, and Earl Nightingale, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to be like, holy shit, I feel powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's just like something about their message that is just, it just hits home, and it's just fucking true to your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You control your reality. You control your destiny. You are the manifestation. You are the dream and the fucking dreamer. You are God or goddess. Heaven lives within. Did my father say not that ye are gods? Even your motherfucking Bible tells you that you a motherfucking God. Nigga, I ain't trying to tell you shit. I tell your mama you ain't shit.
All sorts of figures in the West basically can trace their lineage back to the Blavatskys and the Besants and the Leadbeaters. Alan Watts, for example, Ginsburg, and so forth. I mean, someone like Aleister Crowley, the Satanist, just took the next logical step. Where Theosophy offered wisdom, Crowley offered the open worship of the self. He said, do what thou wilt shall be the whole or the total of the law.
Do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt. Do whatever you want. That shit is wild. But look at this world. Look at it. A whole bunch of motherfuckers doing whatever the fuck they want to do, but no one don't want to do shit right. Ain't that a fucking bitch? Let me say that again. Everybody want to do whatever the fuck they want to do, but don't nobody want to do shit that's right. Constant war. Huh. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Ow.
His system was less a spiritual path than a sort of a metaphysical manifesto for elite individualism. So Western. I mean, I've said it before. There's no real difference if you think about it. Philosophically, there's no real difference between do as thou wilt and the unalienable right to the pursuit of happiness. Probably borrowed freely from Egyptian mythology, from Tantra, ceremonial magic from all different cultures. But he never engaged any of those traditions on their own terms. Instead, he weaponized them. He used their symbols to try to dismantle moral boundaries.
And this is why I say repetition, trauma, and symbolism are the three forms of mind control. I am doing lyrical Tai Chi to destroy our enemy with their same fucking tactics. Hashtag fuck the government. I put that shit in my lyrics every time you hear my song. Shouts out to somebody in the comments. I forgot somebody said, dog, you put fuck the government in every other line in your rap. I like that. I'm doing that shit on purpose to embed in your mind, fuck the government. Then the trauma kicks in. You think about your fucking life and what the government has done by killing us through the food, through the water, through the air, through disease. That will make anybody fucking upset. And then the symbolism. My symbols is Black Dynamite right here. Or my symbols will be Huey Freeman from the Boondocks. Or a fucking fist or some shit. Or some motherfucker blowing up something with an RPG. You know what I'm saying? Destroying a government, burning a flag in the process. The fucking symbolism.
To reject institutional religion and to declare the self as the ultimate sovereign. Well, that's very democratic, isn't it? Crowley's spirituality was one of aristocratic libertinism, masquerading as spirituality. But Blavatsky framed as esoteric enlightenment, Crowley framed as a sort of cosmic rebellion. It's very American. Both of them served the same function, which was to provide Western elites with a sort of metaphysical justification for rejecting both God and rejecting the spiritual heritage of the people that they colonized. And that's what.
Yeah. And that's a motherfucker. That's a motherfucker. Because it goes back to where Christianity was forced on people that was already here. You know what I'm saying? Name, heritage, culture was taken away, murder, rape, pillage, and at the same time, they beating you with the Bible too. Go to Deuteronomy. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemy. So while we was getting beat, that was being like, hey, yo, the book says you're supposed to do this shit.
You have to understand. This wasn't just some fringe bunch of eccentrics. They served core imperialistic interests. They're claiming to understand the true essence of, say, Hinduism or Buddhism. To understand it better than its adherents, the colonizer posed as a benevolent reformer rather than as a conqueror.
Salute. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel right here. True Zone. Yo, bro, we went in on that shit. Hey, yo, bro, what happened, bro? What did they say, bro? Like, was it cyberbullying and harassment? Because they got rid of my shit like that too, and I had to get my shit back in a couple weeks later. But they was wilding, bro. Was it cyberbullying and harassment, dog? Because if it's so, then somebody was hating on your channel. But if they just nuked your shit for no reason, dog, it's because like we were just going in on all levels. We called out the court YouTubers, we called out the fucking government, and we was motherfucking roasting people. That's all we fucking did, True. That's all we did. Called out the YouTube court groups, the government, and roast people. That's all we fucking did, bro. They some hating ass niggas. Everybody sub to this channel. Yeah, everybody sub to this channel right here. We went in. Man, shit, man. Like, we ain't get off that motherfucking panel till 5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna be? Outside on the corner. You better get yourself together. Stop wasting all your time right along with you. Who the fuck remember that song? Oh shit. I'm gonna drop the link when I come back on the next live. I'm gonna do like a Detroit After Dark. Yeah, but then I'm gonna drop the link for that one. For sure. Like right now, I just kind of want to get this guy out the way for the Fuck the Government podcast. And then I was gonna hop over there to the JVJ network. They about to go in on the police and shit. And and they might let me on the panel. If you if you come over there and you open up the panel, I'll definitely be over there. You come over there, we can talk about the motherfucking bitch ass police and shit, and a whole bunch of other topics that he got on the flow. We trying to get that channel popping and shit. Make sure y'all subscribe to the JVJ network and the Let's Talk with JVJ. It's a cool channel. We'll be going in on the government, going on the police, and a whole bunch of other bullshit that be happening with the hoes on Kendra G shit. We be going in on them bitches. But yeah. Sub? Okay, yeah, everybody sub to it. Yeah. Yeah, y'all was going to fucking. Oh yeah, you was there. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely come back and do a Detroit After Dark. But I got to get this shit out the way.
Religious traditions through invented Western esoteric frameworks. The colonizers were able to dictate how those traditions.
You know what? Fuck that shit. Hold on. Fuck that shit. I'll drop the link. I will drop the fucking link. My spirit said drop it. So I'm dropping it. If my spirit motherfucker screams, nigga, drop that link, I'm dropping that shit. I'm dropping it. Let's dance.
How they would be perceived. Your sacred texts are all called metaphors, and your prophets are all called myths, and your rituals are all reframed as nothing but psychological symbols. You're spiritually disarmed. I mean, you can literally discern, like I said, the thread between a Leadbeater and a Jordan Peterson. They're the same. The shift from divine revelation to secret knowledge, transfers power from the actual community of believers and scholars to a self-appointed spiritual elite, literally not even learn it in the scriptures and in the texts and in the traditions that they're pretending to interpret, just like Jordan Peterson. This legacy of spiritual empire building is everywhere, like I said.
Blah. He's sending shots at Jordan Peterson. I used to watch Jordan Peterson sometimes. And then he said some dumb shit. I forgot what he said. I think he supported some shit that I didn't support, and it just made me not fuck with him no more. But he said some profound shit in his earlier interviews and his earlier shit. He's been through a lot of shit because he had a motherfucker in his own mind. But the shit he supports, I almost see him as a cuck mixed with what the fuck did he motherfucking do again? I don't fucking remember. I gotta find out. I gotta watch his latest interviews during the scamdemic. It was during the scamdemic where a whole bunch of people I used to motherfucking watch just completely went off the fucking rails. And you finally knew where their heart was at and where their spirit was at and where the fuck their thought process was at.
So-called New Age movement, which is just a descendant of theosophy. It reduces Buddhism to mindfulness.
Salute True Zone. Hey, yo.
What's good, bro? Man, they took my whole channel, bro. They took my whole channel, my nigga. Damn, bro. Nah, you remember somebody pulled up and porn bombed me last night, bro? But I thought I could get away with keeping that video live up, bro. I should have took that shit down, man.
Damn. I forgot about that because we was on that bitch for like 2 or 3 hours and shit. So
we went in last night, bro.
About that part.
Well, that shit was pure comedy, nigga. My stomach was hurting all night, like all morning this morning. I was laughing so goddamn hard. Nah, but I appealed it though, bro. I'm trying to get my channel back. If I don't get it back, bro, I'll just bit up this channel, bro. It's all gravy. Shit, they don't delete 5 of my goddamn channels before, bro.
Oh damn. 5 channels, goddamn.
This is my 4th channel right here, bro. My channel before this one had more. My channel before this one, before the one that just got deleted, had more subs than this one. The last one, bro. Yeah, man. They don't like real niggas, man.
For real.
But I appreciate you pulling up, and I appreciate you sharing my shit, bro. I appreciate that for sure.
Got you. Hell yeah, dog. I had to. I was like, man, nigga, I was over there, dog. Nigga, I kind of motherfucking felt bad. I was like, nigga, like this. I did not do it because I went ham on that revolutionary shit. I was like,
Nah,
yo.
bro. It was that they got me for nudity, bro. And I appealed it. Hopefully they get my shit back. Cause I put inside of the motherfucking appeal. Like I ain't had nothing to do with that. How you gonna take my fucking channel down? And like I showed my dick. Yeah, y'all tripping. I ain't even had no motherfucking strikes, bro. They took the whole channel, my nigga.
Damn. Right, yeah, no strikes, dog. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, but this is they shit though, bro. They gonna do what they want to do. A bunch of evil motherfuckers, man. But it's all good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my as soon as I get the 50 likes, bro, the 50 subscribers, bro, I'm gonna start going live again. So it's all gravy.
All right, for sure. Because you should be up to like 30 something right now, right?
Yeah, I'm up to 30 something right now. As soon as I get to like 50, I'm gonna start doing panels. You know, them panels draw people in, so I'll be straight.
Got you. Well, let me finish this video because I'm about to hop over there on the JVJ network after this live and shit. Then we might go live over there.
All right, cool. Put the link to that channel in the chat. I'm about to walk down here to this motherfucking to this fair. They got a little fair down here from the street from my crib. I'm gonna walk down here see what's popping, man.
That's what's up. All right, though, for sure.
All right, for sure. Peace, man. Shout out to the chat, man.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, man. Sub up to my channel, man. And shout out to Hurricane JW, real nigga, bro. Peace.
For sure.
Christianity to, positive vibrations, love, and so forth. Hinduism is just yoga or tantric sex, karma. You can see it in the UN endorsed interfaith initiatives that they do. This push for sort of universal spirituality that flattens theological distinctions in favor of liberal humanist platitudes. You can see it in corporate wellness programs, repackage the sort of Hindu, Eastern, Buddhist meditation as a form of stress relief, stripping it of all physical meaning. It's all over the place in Western pop culture. You see the Egyptian iconography, Eastern mantras and so forth, all just being a kind of aesthetic backdrop. Spiritual imagery emptied of any spiritual consequence or meaning. No appreciation, no understanding of the context or the history or the culture that those things came from. In each case, the goal is the same: narcissistic spiritual performance without submission to God. And yes, that is at least part of why Islam is still demonized, still excluded, tokenized only as Sufism in these frameworks. Because it's the last major world religion that remains whole. Its creed is unbroken. Its scripture is unchanged. Its metaphysical structure is intact. It can't be syncretized. It can't be metaphorized.
And that's true because you look at how disciplined Black Muslims is inside that order. Those motherfuckers have a look in their eyes like, nigga, you will not motherfucking stray me from this path, motherfucker. But real talk, they got the same eyes as a Hebrew Israelite, same eyes as a Pan-African, like ain't nobody taking that shit away from them. But I asked the question, after you find yourself, after you know who you are, after all the debates and arguments with others, what's next? Are we going to keep doing this shit forever? Or are we going to start a goddamn revolution? Hashtag for the government.
And because Islam still demands submission to a sovereign God. It remains the final bulwark against the total metaphysical colonization of the human soul by empty Western rich people. This is why the West's spiritual empire builders avoided Islam then and why they fear it today. Nietzsche said, God is dead. But the West didn't kill God. They killed belief in God so that they could then cast themselves as his substitutes for the law.
Yep. And the book of Deuteronomy says that, therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemy.
All the other religions, all the other traditions, a verse here, a myth there, and then they mix them all up in a blender and make a spirituality smoothie. I know that's what they do because that's what I was doing before I came to Islam.
Woo! It was like, I know that's what they're doing because that's what I motherfucking did before I came to Islam. Before I came to Islam. Now, Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
So one take from that one and then willfully make it mean whatever you want it to mean for you. Your own interpretation. That's self-worship. It's just pillaging and ransacking and looting of other people's religious heritage, other people's religious traditions and belief. And yes, like I said, we're talking about all different types of kufr. From an Islamic perspective, they were westernizing Eastern kufr. Okay, that's why they were even able to do it, because all of that's kufr. But you do have to understand what they were doing and why, so that you will understand that the only antidote to that is uncompromising submission to actual revelation. And the only tradition that has survived that storm, that colonial storm, intact is Islam. That's why they avoided it. And that's why we have to defend it today, not just physically, but cosmologically. And not just as Muslims, but as witnesses against this particularly nefarious aspect of empire that wants to own even your soul and your understanding of reality and what reality is and what existence is and why it is. They want to.
Ooh, that's why it's better to know thyself. That's why if you don't have your mind, someone else do. That's why if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. You have to be a god or a goddess and take back your motherfucking life and your land. I got your back. Hashtag fuck the government.
You have to understand that they've been at this for a long time, because no, it wasn't always westernizing Eastern kufr. Christianity itself is nothing but the colonization of the message of Prophet Jesus alayhi salam.
Hold on real quick. Gotta talk real quick. Shouts out. Wait a minute. What up, though? Mr. Fuck Your Couch.
Yeah. What's up, my boy?
Chilling. You know, trying to get the last, I think, 10 minutes of this video, you know, before we head over there to the JVJ network and see what they talk about with the police arresting motherfuckers for no reason and shit. Well, what's been good with you? What's been up? What's been popping? Hold on.
Hey,
People gotta know who you are.
when you get a chance to
What? Huh?
All right, my bad. Let's start over.
Say it again. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. What's up? What would you say?
Nah. Oh, nah. I was gonna say, let me start over. Somebody had me distracted.
Oh. I feel you probably got a girl over there.
Shit, man. Look here, man. Fuck around with these hoes. Nah, I tell you the truth, I've been on like a 2-year strike, bro. I ain't fucking with these hoes, bro. These hoes is poison, bro. It's like Resident Evil, bro. I'm trying not to get bit by the zombies, bro.
Oh yeah, it's all good, but you can still pay to play though. Because remember, we don't pay them to smash, we pay them to leave.
That's probably the only thing, right?
And plus, I'm Joe Blow, love a man. Bitch should be paying me.
Sufi came along and mined Hinduism. Crowley came along and mined Tantra.
Oh, hold on. Oh, like, what do you think about the video so far? Like, you know, like, is everybody on point on the video? You know, like, you think he like speaking truth, or that you know, or you think you know, so, or you got some conflict of interest? You on point?
Okay. Yeah, I'm on point. Can you hear me? Mic check.
Yeah. Oh no. I was asking like what you think of the video so far, and like what's your opinions on it?
I ain't really I've been in and out, so I'm gonna say I've been hearing parts of it, but shit. I'm gonna say catch me up on it.
Like he was just talking about how the Western powers came over here and not only raped, murdered, and pillaged his land, but they motherfucking took the spirituality part and weaponized it and shit.
Oh, most definitely, man. Yeah, we've been on that shit. I mean, shit. Yeah, I mean, all we doing is reiterating the same thing. But no, I mean, because my whole thing is, if a motherfucker really look at the overview laps of the whole shit, I mean, it's really dumb as fuck because they trying to actually well, hold on, let me say this the right way they trying to take your culture, flip it on your ass, and make you take it the backwards way. You understand? And for example, I mean like this here. You got the modern woman or you got the modern YN, whatever the fuck you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? They're not even cultured. We're not even talking about what they're not doing. They're not cultured. They're not educated on how to build a foundation for a family. They don't know what a family is. They know more of the ratchet shit than anything else. That's the reverse psychology of this shit. But I think it's quite I think it's quite motherfucking funny because, like I said, man, I mean shit. Everybody talk about Africa and all that other shit.
Yeah. What happened? What happened? I can't hear you. I think you got muted.
Nah, I was saying, I was like, shit, everybody knows. To me, like I say, what I be teaching and showing on my channel when I do post is that everything come from America, man. We taught the world how to goddamn be cultural. I mean, let's say accurately cultured, and these motherfuckers done flipped the game and just done made it a perversion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Perfected the art of spiritual appropriation by mutilating the
Especially
original message of Prophet Isa alayhi salam, Prophet Jesus. You know, the
Hold on. Say that. What you about to say? What you about to say? You
Nah, I
about to
was
say
just
something? You
saying,
about to say
especially the
especially?
Baby J hats, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just like to
Oh
see
yeah.
how they done manipulate.
Yep.
Yeah, just you know what I'm saying? Can you hear me with the Trump thing?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, I got a little delay on my end, but I counted it. It's probably like 3 seconds, but um. So with that being said, it's just it's you know what I'm saying. It's mind boggling, you know what I'm saying, to see that they done took hope and done packaged it up again, and know what I'm saying, and got everybody reaching and scrapping it. You know what I'm saying, looking for let's say a cure. You know what I'm saying, because it ain't no savior. But my whole thing is shit. I've been working on my own shit for like the last 3 years, but that's what we've been telling people. Like 4 years, you supposed to been going in deep. You supposed to know
Yep.
thyself. And a lot of people sitting up here, y'all talking the talk, but y'all ain't walking what y'all preaching. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing
Exactly.
is people walking what they preaching. Like I know for a fact I've been fucking with you. I know you've been on the game and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I've been on my law shit, but it's the whole because they so much trying to be with the general perception of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I ain't had a relationship in 2 years. But you know what I'm saying? I fuck a bitch, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't really on the top priority of my list. You know what I'm saying? The top priority on my list is to become the best version of what I see inside of me.
That's right. I ain't had a relationship since 2011. That bitch cheated, broke my heart. I was playing Pablo Bryson on repeat. Baby, can you stop the rain? I was in that bitch clowning. Let me get back to this.
followers of Jesus. It was a small, persecuted community in Palestine, holding strict monotheism, rejecting idolatry, and awaiting and working for divine justice. And when Rome co-opted their faith, Rome didn't convert to their teachings, it converted their teachings into something else entirely. The Romans didn't become Christians, the Christians became Roman. The radical anti-imperial.
The Romans did become Christian. The Christians became Roman. Damn. DeMarco. Shit like that.
Message of Isa alayhi
Hold
salam.
on, what say that one more time? What happened?
Hypocrisy.
Oh,
Co-opted their faith.
yeah, here you go.
Rome didn't convert to their teachings, it converted their teachings into something else entirely. The Romans didn't become Christians, the Christians became Roman. The radical anti-imperial message of Isa alayhi salam, who condemned excessive wealth, power, hypocrisy. This message was gutted and remade into a state religion that sanctified wealth, it sanctified power and hypocrisy. Those pagan idolaters changed monotheism into Trinity. The uncompromising Tawheed, the oneness of Allah that was preached by Isa alayhi salam, was replaced with a convoluted theology borrowed from Greek philosophy, borrowed from pagan mystical cults. You know, the simple prophetic message of submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was buried beneath layers upon layers upon layers of metaphysical abstraction. The man who had preached, according to their own book, the Lord your God is one God, was himself declared to be a God. Can you imagine? How far can you go? It went from an anti-empire message to Empire's Handbook. Isa alayhi salam, according to their book, said that it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. That's according to their own book that they're reading until right now. Pretty quickly, you had bishops wearing gold. You had popes commanding armies, violent armies. You had kings who ruled tyrannically by so-called divine right. No, the religion of the oppressed became the religion of the oppressor. You see how they do? They went from divine law to selective morality. Isa alayhi salam upheld the revelations from before. And he said in their book, until now, I did not come to abolish the law, but Pauline Christianity completely discarded divine law in favor of grace.
Yeah. The Paulinian, like most Christians are Paulinian. They be like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, but I'm gonna repent later.
Conveniently allowed to just sin
That
without.
nigga said to me, I don't pay that no attention.
Right. I feel you. You know, we just motherfucking trying to survive in this bitch.
My whole thing is, my whole thing is, I look at this shit. Everybody like the kumbaya. You already know what type of time I'm on, bro. This an animalistic ass world, bro. And all we seeing is the true nature of the goddamn woman. You know what I'm saying? We seeing the motherfucker that want to be in charge and that want to be motherfucking goddamn coddled at the same time. That ain't nothing but an androgynous ass woman. Like I told the motherfucker, I say, bro, men, we came from God. You know what I'm saying? All the Bible teaches this shit. You don't say nothing about, hey, I birthed woman, I did this, I did that. No, we the motherfuckers who come from outer space. This is an alien invasion, and the aliens are the fucking females. I mean, no, well, we're the aliens because we don't come from this motherfucker. But my whole thing, but my whole thing is we were sitting here just like the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? We got fucked up in the pussy and everybody want to play. You know what I'm saying? Everybody having recreational sex instead of repropriational sex. You know what I'm saying? Instead of repropriate. You know what? Come on, help me out, Kane.
Oh shit, I'm high. I'm trying to motherfucker pronounce the word too.
Reproduction.
Yeah, reproduction.
Yeah, reproduction. You know what I'm saying? But that's how. Yeah, but that was our thing. You know what I'm saying? And we got washed out because of the simple fact that ain't nobody. Everybody always talking about what God talk at in the Bible. Ain't nobody lit up with a devil talk at. You know what I'm saying? The devil been talking in secret, but who he been talking to? He been talking to the hoes the whole time. He let you know that. I got Eve on my side. That bitch is of this earth. You know what I'm saying? We're not of this earth. You know what I'm saying? God gifted us that bitch. Because guess what? He said, I'm going to make you one out the rib. I ain't going to give you one off this motherfucking earth. That bitch might got a motherfucking dick and a pussy. Because it was androgynous around this motherfucker. How was they able to do reproduction? You know what I'm saying? It was some that was able to shoot it off, and it was some that wasn't. But we were sent to this motherfucking planet to save these goddamn hoes. But we already know we can't be Captain Save a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So we look at it as a failed mission, but that's why we real. But that's why we sit up here and we come back. That's the main reason why we keep coming back. We keep coming back because of the simple fact we have not got it right. Meaning we have not destroyed the androgynous motherfucking energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it ain't no chicks out this bitch with no dicks in the pussy no more, but them hoes still carry that same energy. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the boss chicken, but I still want to be the feminine chick. Like, we got to destroy that shit. If we don't destroy it, then what the fuck you know what I'm saying? Like, how we gonna survive? How we gonna get off this planet? And I try to tell people the key to making this shit work for yourself is keeping silence to a bitch who don't even deserve your motherfucking attention, and also making a bitch cry 3 times a week. You make these bitches cry 3 times a week, I promise you, you'll have their ego down to a balance where you can control and you can have self-awareness.
Almost spit my beer out. Yeah, but let's get back to this video.
I got a bill right now.
Warning about divine punishment, encouraging people to be prepared to prepare themselves for the hereafter. Imperial Christianity turned faith into a transactional system where salvation could literally be bought through the church. Where suffering was glorified if you were poor. The oppressed were told to endure injustice in exchange for heavenly reward. They turned the message of justice into a message of passivity in the face of injustice, just as later Western esotericists would strip Hinduism of its theology, reduce Buddhism to just mindfulness. The early church fathers stripped the message of Isa alayhi salam from its revolutionary essence and repackaged it as a tool of social control. You know, the cross, which was nothing but a symbol of Roman brutality, was rebranded as a divine mandate for conquest. Imagine. The teachings of a prophet who stood against empire were used to justify empire. See how they do? The same forces that corrupted the message of Isa alayhi salam later went on to plunder all the sacred traditions of Africa, of Asia, and of the Americas. That same intellectual arrogance that turned monotheism into a trinity because that's what they liked. They turned yoga into exercise, Sufism into poetry, meditation into corporate productivity hacks. Alhamdulillah, Islam remains unbroken and unbreakable. Islam still says there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It still demands justice, not complacency. It still rejects the deification of man, whether through we're talking about papal infallibility or New Age self-deification. The idea that self-knowledge constitutes knowledge of God or any other such nonsense. No. If you don't know that you're nothing but a slave of God, then you have no self-knowledge whatsoever. And the Muslims are the ones who can tell you who you are. The Muslims are the ones who can tell you what you are. A Muslim who doesn't even know you has more knowledge about you than you have about yourself. That's why.
And that's kind of where I can disagree with this guy, because when he bring in the religious part, I understand this guy's a Muslim or whatnot, but it's like, man, ain't no God coming down here to save us. It don't matter what it is, nigga. We got to save ourselves. That's the only thing I disagree with this guy about.
But that's like,
not because they say it's.
I agree with you, and I disagree with him. I mean, I'm just saying I agree with you, and I disagree with him because
Right.
I mean, just through my studying, you know what I'm saying, individual studying, I know the Greek word, you know what I'm saying, God, it means power. So all he's doing is talking about harnessing your power, and then when he's talking about you not obtaining it, he's talking about like you have an adversary or you have an enemy, but the enemy is yourself. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing is when we have our power, first, we don't recognize it. Second, we don't use it. And third, we don't motherfucking recognize it or use it or, you know what I'm saying, know how to have the intentions behind it. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is everybody is looking to be the best individual, whether they looking inside or outside, they're looking to be the best individual looking outside. You still want to shine like a trophy. It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's literally about, can you withstand the rain? You know what I'm saying? On the jagged edge side of the game, or whoever sang that goddamn song. But my whole thing is like, bro, we're going through some serious hard times right now. And everybody is looking at tangible assets when it's all about intangible assets. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do for each other? You know what I'm saying? Of course, we want to hop on, you know what I'm saying, the women and stuff. But at the same time, like I said, I'm for my dogs. You know what I'm saying? And to tell you the truth, it's not more so the men. It's more so the women. You understand? Rather it be your background, your mama, how you was raised, it has more of an effect on you than it does us. Because you're the one who's playing the game. You're the one who's trying to convince us of a illogical fallacy. Like, it doesn't have no logic.
Yeah. Facts. Hold on, wait.
Highlight or terrorists or what have you. It's because it's the uncorrupted echo of the message of Isa alayhi salam. In the same way that Rome couldn't tolerate the real Isa, the modern West cannot tolerate the real faith that Isa alayhi salam taught, because they can't tolerate anything that denies their own delusions of supremacy, which is just an unspeakable irony when the West ever talks about equality. But they're absolutely obsessed with trying to prove or trying to establish their superiority. And when they can't prove their supremacy, and they can't, well, then they try to just negate and nullify everything that proves their inferiority. Do you understand? They negate any measurement of value that they come up short in. And they do that through relativism and so on. You know, the whole interfaith narrative, for example. The interfaith narrative is religious relativism. It's the same old devaluing, the same old disrespecting other people's beliefs because they don't have any beliefs themselves to speak of. So suddenly all beliefs are equal. All have the same value. This is just a way to negate value. In other words, it's belief relativism. It's nihilism. Nothing means anything. Everything is relative. That's their belief. That's their position. You only do that because religion and belief are areas in which you fall short. They don't believe in financial relativism, do they? The rich and the poor sure are the same in their book. Military might isn't relative, is it? You know, they don't see the U.S. Army as being the same as a militia, do they? That's not relative. When a militia commits violence, it's a war crime. It's a crime against humanity. It's a human rights violation. But when the U.S. or their allies commit violence on a vast scale, that's peacekeeping. They don't believe in relativism in areas where they don't fall short. They only believe in relativism in areas where they can't compete. That's what interfaith is all about. Relativizing religion because they haven't got a leg to stand on in that area. So they don't want distinct religions to have distinct value. And they package that as tolerance. To belittle and to negate the individual value of religions, they say that's tolerance. Tolerance to expect every religious person to just accept the notion that there's nothing special, there's nothing worth holding on to, there's nothing worth cherishing and defending in their faith. And that's supposed to be tolerance. That's the West version of tolerance. Imagine someone telling you that you're being divisive, you're being intolerant because you don't accept for someone to insult your mother because after all, we're all equal. Your mother isn't special, so she shouldn't be special to you. Your mothers teach the same things to their children after all, right? Your parents are equal. What kind of garbage is that? That's what your interfaith messaging and your interfaith narrative is about. No, you people are obsessed with inequality. You are obsessed with supremacy. You are obsessed with devaluing, delegitimizing, and negating others. And you turn every religion into nothing but validations of these obsessions. And Islam does not accommodate you in that. Your colonization of our land never conquered Islam, and your colonization of religious traditions, you couldn't even find anything in Islam to exploit and to appropriate. Because the only way that you could take, a whole basket, different types of kufr, and call that basket of kufr universal truth is by excluding actual truth from the mix. Because actual truth does not allow you to exalt yourselves and to feign supremacy through some mystical esoteric gibberish and to try to pretend that you're the lawmaker, you're the lawgiver, not just subjects and slaves under the law. But Islam won't let you forget what you are. And Islam won't ever let you make us forget what you are. And that's what you really can't stand.
Woo! Now, this is the end of the For the Government podcast. Final thoughts. I agree with everything I heard until he always bring up that religious shit. But I understand where his perspective is when it comes to the evil powers that shouldn't be perverting everything else, but they can't exploit Islam. It's understandable why they can't, because these motherfuckers are disciplined as shit. These motherfuckers will put a bomb on their chest for some mahakmet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just a fucking government podcast. Shout out to everybody coming through. Shout out to everybody coming to the panel. Shout out to John Horn. Shout out to Truth Zone Jordan. Shout out to Karma. Shout out to Chris Style. Shout out to Jared Jaguar. Shout out to Bearded Conversations. Shout out to Bronze. Make sure everybody come back through for another segment of the For the Government podcast. Who else was in here? Black Money Corp. Shout out to Black Money Corp. And I think that was it. Oh yeah, no. Shout out to the Tigo show. Shout out to Water Style. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Wraith in the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Wale. And I'm about to head over there to the JVJ network. I'm about to see what's popping over there. Hashtag fuck the police. And fuck the government. This is the Fuck the Government podcast. This is your man's Hurricane. I'm out.